Hi guys, it's your girl Ty here. So I wanted to tell you about Friday. I met Simon. So as I was doing my deliveries, I delivered to some halfway houses. So this was an all men's halfway house, and there I met Simon. Now this is a different staff. Usually when I go there, there's a woman there, but this time Simon was there. The woman was there as well, but she was on her way out the door, so I had to deal with Simon. So I'm giving Simon the tablet so he can sign for the delivery. And so Simon's like, "Well, hi. I never met you before. So what is your name?" So I was like, "Oh, I'm Taisha." And he was like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." And he was all like, he was like, "Oh, he was like, he's looking me up and down, right? He looks me up and down, right?" And he was like, "Oh, you cute." And I was all like, "Well, thank you, Simon." And then he was all like, "Yeah, you are cute." So he takes the tablet, puts it down. He's not even finished signing it because he had like 5 people he had to sign for. So he's like, "Oh, let me put this down for a minute. Let me start talking to you." And I'm like, "Oh, no, Simon, we need to hurry up because, that was my last stop. I'm ready to go. It was Friday. I'm ready to go take care of my business and get my day started." So he's like, "No, I want to talk to you for a minute." And so he was all like, "Well, are you he was all like, I'm single." He was all like, "I'm divorced. All of my children are grown. I have 3 kids and they all grown. They out of the house." And he was like, "I live by myself." And I was like, "Oh, that's good." So then I was like, "Well, I said this, I have something similar." I said, "My youngest son is in college." I said, "And my oldest son, he lives on his own." I was like, "And I'm an empty nester now." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yes." I said, "Never been married, but, you know, yeah." And so he's like, "Oh my gosh." So he was like, "Well, can I have your number?" And then I said, "No, sorry, Simon, no." So he goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because no." And then so I was like, "Now, can you finish signing the tablet so I can go?" He's like, "No, no, 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 no." He was like, "I just want to know why." He was like, "Everybody should want love and be with someone." And he was like, "Especially if, you're single, your kids are grown and out of the house. Everybody should want that." I said, "Yeah, everybody should want that." And I said, "I do want that eventually." I said, "But no." I said, "Now, can I get the tablet?" So he wasn't trying to hear it. So I was about to just grab the tablet and go. So he saw that, and then he grabs the tablet, he signs it, and then he gives it to me. So I was like, "Okay, bye, Simon." And I was like, "Happy holidays." And I was walking out. So he's following me. So I'm thinking he's following me to close the door. And he ain't following me to close the door. He keeps following me, kept on saying, "Come on, Taisha." He was all like, "Come on, Taisha, come on, Taisha." And then I was like, "What's your name again?" Because I kind of couldn't understand it. He was like, "Simon." He was like, "Simon Peter." And I said, "Oh, like in the Bible." He's like, "Yeah, Simon." I said, "Oh, okay." So I kept it moving. I said, "Okay, Simon." I said, "Okay, Simon." I said, "No, I'm not interested." He kept begging, and then as I'm walking out the door, he's following me, and then when he's following me, right? So I'm looking at him like, "Where are you going?" I said, "Didn't I say no?" And he's like, "Please, oh my God, please." He was begging me. And one thing about me is don't beg, because that is so ill. That is like a turn off. It's disgusting. Why are you begging? And if I told you no, no means no. Stop trying to press me, because now I'm not going to be friendly. I'm not going to be cool. I'm going to start getting agitated. And I might get a little snappy, and so don't keep it, because if I said no, no means no. I don't have to even, no is a complete sentence. I don't have to give you an explanation, right? I keep going. So I'm walking down the stairs and it's snowy and stuff out. It got snow out, ice out in some places. Simon don't got on snow boots. I got on snow boots. He got on some fancy shoes. Or actually, he had on loafers. They were kind of nice too. But he had on that, right? So he's all like, "Oh, oh, oh." And I'm just walking, walking. I ain't even looking back. I'm just walking, walking, walking. He's all having, like, trying to prevent himself from sliding. I'm cracking up like, "Oh, well, he's about to bust his butt trying to get my number," which he ain't getting, right? So I get in the car. As soon as I get in the car, right, I close the door. I close the door. I put the tablet to the side. I look. He opens the car door. I was like, oh. I got out of that car. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Simon, I am not interested in you." He's like, oh, I'm a free thinker. I'm a man of God. He was all like, and then he said something in tongues, right? And then I looked at him like, what? And then he says, it means, may God be with you. I said, okay, thank you. I said, but Simon, it's not going to happen. I said, I'm not giving you my number. So he's like, well, can you take my number? I said, Simon, I ain't taking your number because I'm not going to call you. I said, I'll get that number and I'm not going to call you. He was like, so I would just rather give you something. He was like, I just can't let you leave. I said, no, but you can. I was like, no. He was like, I want to take you out to eat or whatever, and I was all like, yeah. I was like, no. I was like, that's okay, Simon. I said, you'll get to see me next time. I said, you'll get to see me next time I come to deliver. But right now, I'm not interested. And he just wouldn't take no for an answer. I got my butt in that car. And I said, bye, Simon. And zoom, I drove right off. I ain't pay Simon no mind. And I was because Simon was wearing me out. I was getting tired. I was getting tired. And he was doing too much. So I go on about my day. So I go to sleep that night. When I wake up the next morning, I had a dream. And I had a dream that I was stealing, me and my son Elijah, we were stealing kittens. We were trying to steal kittens, right? And so but in the dream, Elijah was a younger version. Elijah was like 10 or 11 in the dream. We went to some house. I don't know whose house it was, but we went to somebody's house. We go to the house. There was nothing but cats and kittens all around. And I saw this pretty cat. It was white with brown right here, orange, white, black spots on it. And I was like, oh, I want that kitten. So I said, Elijah, get the kitten. So Elijah grabs the kitten and he puts it under his shirt. And we trying to walk out the house with the kitten. And the mother cat of that kitten was like, meow, meow, meow. She was like, give me my cat back. She was looking at me like, give me my baby. And I'm like, oh, man. And she was meowing and she wasn't letting us get out the house. So I was like, dang. I was like, Elijah, put the cat down because she's going to give us away. And I'm trying to, we're trying to take it, And so I was like, well, while we gave her that cat, right? I said, I saw another cat. It was different. I said, oh, that one's cute. So I grabbed that cat, right? And so I'm trying to get out the house with the cat. And the cat's just clawing at me, scratching at me, trying to bite me, meowing. And the cats kept meowing so loud, like they were giving me away so somebody would know that we trying to take these cats, right? So I was like, dang. And I put the cats back. And then I woke up. And then when I woke up, I said, I was talking to God. And I was like, well, God, what are you trying to tell me through that dream? And I sat there and I was just praying about it. And I was like, and I was rehearsing the dream. I kept talking the dream over and over and over and over. Because that's important. When you're having a dream, it don't matter what the dream's about. Either write it down, maybe record yourself, or maybe talk it out and let God reveal to you what he's trying to tell you. And sometimes I will write it out, but most of the times I'll talk it out to God. And I'm like, well, God, what does this mean? What does this mean? And so I was doing that. But then I was like, I didn't hear anything. So then I go and get a shower. Usually the Lord answers me a lot in the shower. So I usually get a lot of revelation, clarity, and everything in the shower, because water, all these things are significant, right? So all I kept hearing in the shower though was like intuition. And I'm like, oh. So now mind you, when you in dealing with kittens, anything that's like a newborn, a baby or something means innocence or purity. It means, it means innocence. It means purity, right? But kittens, how I have 2 cats, right? And I've had them when they were baby kittens. And now they're full-grown cats, right? But if you have cats or kittens, cats represent playfulness and joyfulness and cuteness. They're cute and they're so adorable. They're lovable. Everybody loves cats. Almost everybody. But you know what I'm saying? So in that, it was like, oh. So then when I was like, well, what does the dream as a whole mean? And it was like, what the dream was representing was because I was stealing, right? The stealing part of it, it wasn't about the cats really. It was about the stealing part. And what the dream was really telling me was, because I was telling Simon no, right? Simon wasn't respecting my no. So it was about me taking charge. It was about me taking control, standing on those boundaries. The boundaries that he was trying to, scoot out the way so that he could just get his way with me and get my number. And I was like, no, I stood on that. No, that man did not get my number. Okay? And he ain't getting the number. But it was about me taking back. Stealing was, taking back was mine. Taking back was mine. Being in charge. My intuition, following my intuition and standing on that no. So that is what the Lord was telling me. Like, I did good by saying no to him. I did good by standing on my boundaries or whatever. And I didn't even explain to him why. I told him no. No is a complete sentence. And he was kept on saying, well, why? Everybody needs love. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Everybody does need love. And yes, I am looking for love and wanting love too. But no, because I said no. That's it. I don't have to explain to you why. And you're not the one who I'm going to be getting that love from or whatever. Or I don't want a friendship with you at this moment. Like, again, no. I just want to do what I'm doing and that's that. And you're not it. But if you're going to be that, insistent, you're like, he was just like, oh, I'm like, that's a turn off. That's going to turn me off. That's just like, oh my gosh. You will have me feel like I'm going to be overwhelmed. You will have me feeling overwhelmed. I will be anxious. I will be frustrated. You will start seeing a side of me that you ain't gonna like. I'll become moody. I'll get moody, and I don't want to be moody. I like being happy. I like being jovial. I like being the high vibration that I am. And if you can't even accept the no that I'm telling you, and I'm being as cordial in it, you know what I'm saying, as I can, and without being, getting aggressive or without getting frustrated because you're harassing me now at this point. It's like, excuse me. It's like, if you can't even respect that, then if I dealt with you, what else would you not respect? Okay. Like, would I be able to be comfortable? Would I be able to be me around you? Because you would probably try to, because like when I was talking to him, he was giving me the impression that, because he kept saying, no, you shouldn't say that. I don't remember what I was saying, but I wasn't really saying much. But one thing I can't stand is when I say something and then a person says, oh, what you mean is this. And I'm like, no, I mean what I said. I said what I mean, and I mean what I said. I ain't saying anything in between. I'm being direct and I'm being straight to the point of what I said. I'm not telling you something and then meaning something else. I'm meaning what I said. And so he wasn't comprehending that. And he was trying to make it seem like, I'm playing hard to get or, something like that. And I'm like, I don't play hard to get. If I like you, if I'm interested in you, you don't have to play. I don't have to play to get you. I'm going to be direct with you and you're going to get what you're looking for from me. But if I'm not interested in you, I'm telling you straight up. And I wasn't beating around the bush. I kept saying no. And so I'm like, boy, bye. So the dream really was about me like standing on my boundaries, taking my power back and following my intuition. Because I know that if I was to give him my number, he would actually have me, like I said, I would be anxious. I would be overwhelmed. I would be feeling like, oh my gosh, because I can tell you right now, he's going to want to see me all the time. He's going to call all the time. He's going to be calling probably at inopportune times. And he's just going to be, to me, too needy. And if he couldn't even take no for an answer, and I kept saying, hey, I'm not interested. And I was just like, no. I was really just saying no. I wasn't even giving him anything but the no. If you can't even accept the no, then I know that if I was to go on and deal with you further on, I know that it probably wouldn't work out. It wouldn't work out. I can already tell because I know who I am. And now that I am enveloping into a better version of myself, I'm doing a lot of the healing work and I'm changing, right? There's a lot of things that I ain't playing about. And there's a lot of things that I do not accept. And he would get to see, he would be getting told no a lot. It would be a lot of no's because, again, I can see that we would not be equally yoked. We would probably be doing a lot of clashing because if he wasn't even trying to, he was so, insistent on, let me get your number, let me get your number. Or here, take my number. And I'm like, I don't want your number. You're not getting my number. And so the dream was about, that's why I was like stealing, like, no, take your power back. Take your power back. Because the cats was representing, the jovialness of me being, lovable or jovial. And he was like cute, and the cats are so cute or whatever. And he kept saying, oh, you so cute and everything like that. So that's what it was about. But it was about more of so just follow my intuition, making sure that I stand on me, stand on whatever I say. If I said no, then stand on that no, and not let nobody, coerce me or change my mind from what it is I said. And that's what that dream was about. And I was like, what? And I'm so grateful and thankful that I did that, followed my intuition, that I didn't give in my number, and I just literally drove off. I had to just drive off because he wasn't listening. He wasn't getting it. And again, like I said, that's a turn off to me, and I you don't have to beg, because if I'm gonna give you something, no matter what that something is, you ain't gotta beg. I'm gonna give it to you freely, but when you begging, it's like, it's just unattractive. It doesn't even matter. It's unattractive. It's like, ill, get out of here, because I ain't begging nobody for nothing, and usually when people tell me no, I just take that no and keep it moving. I'll be like, why? Well, come on. It's like, oh, okay, it may not feel good. It may not, I may not like it, but I'm not going to keep begging and groveling and asking them why. I'm going to take that no for an answer and respect it, And so, yeah, I say that to say this, like, stand on your boundaries, stand on who you are becoming, don't let nobody coerce you into anything else. And then also, write down your dreams, because your dreams is a way of God communicating with you. He's communicating through those dreams. He's talking to you. He's giving you a message. And usually when God is giving you a dream or even a vision, that's one of my gifts, dreams. And thankfully, to a certain degree, I can interpret my dreams. And then the more I read my word and get into knowing the Lord, the more the vivid the dreams become, and the more understanding I get from what he's telling me. And this is how come I know that he was telling me in the dreams to listen. The stealing was me taking back control, of my destiny, standing on my boundaries, me sticking to the no. If I said no, keep it moving and stay no, because you got to really, and taking care of myself, like the taking care of my innocence, like, myself, because again, cats represent kittens, and cats represent innocence. They represent purity, and so, he must have been looking at me like, oh, she's innocent, she's pure, whatever. And it's like, no, protect myself, like, take care of myself, make sure that, I continue to, remain in this, because this is who I am. This is me. And so I'm just like, yeah, take those dreams, write them down, talk it out, or record yourself talking about the dream, and then let the Lord reveal it to you, because he's going to reveal it. He's going to show you something. It could be for a warning. He may be warning you about something, but just don't neglect these dreams, because these dreams is a form and a way of the Lord communicating with you. And the more you spend time with the Lord, the more things become more clearer for you. The more things become more clearer for you. So stay in your word, stay reading, stay praying, fast, enjoy yourself, listen to some sermons, or go to church, or whatever it is that you see fit to get your spiritual enlightenment, your spiritual growth, and your relationship with the Lord. Whatever suits you, do what suits you, do what's best for you, so that you can have a relationship with the Lord, and so that when he's revealing things to you and talking to you, your gifts, we all have gifts. Some people have more than one gift, some people only just have one, but whatever it is, we all have gifts. And then utilize that gift to the best of your ability, because that is how we strengthen ourselves. And then I was listening to something, right? I was reading, right? And when he spoke in tongues, right? I just so happened to come across that, and it's in 1 Corinthians 14, and it says, that a person who speaks in tongues is strengthened personally. So when you speak in the tongues, you are the only one who's getting strengthened. But one who speaks in prophecy strengthens the entire church. And prophecy also encourages and supports people. So when you have the gift of prophesying, you're strengthening not just you, but you're strengthening the church. You're supporting them, you're covering them, and everybody. But the prophecy gift, but the gift of tongues is only strengthening you. So it's like it's not necessarily like it's a service for others, because the only way it can be meaningful or strengthen you is if there's an interpreter who can interpret what the person in tongues spoke. So again, the gifts that the Lord gives you, they get strengthened the more you have a relationship with him. So I just wanted to say that, because when he spoke in tongues and I was like, I didn't know what he was talking about. He had to tell me what he said, And so, again, you see how it didn't strengthen me, or it didn't benefit me, or it couldn't help me. It was only helping him, because the tongue speaking is actually a relationship kind of directly with you and Lord. It's a language for you and between you and the Lord. And nobody else can understand it unless somebody has the gift of interpretation. So, that's the difference between speaking in tongues and then prophesying or the other gifts. Majority of the other gifts are to help the other people, because it's a gift of being a teacher, prophesying, apostles, all that, the gift of encouragement, the gift of healing, and things of that nature. See how those are helping other people, as opposed to the speaking in tongues only helps that person or strengthens that person. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that to your attention and let you know, because again, reading is fundamental. And it's good for you. But if that resonated with anyone, like this post, comment on it, share it if you feel led to, subscribe even if you feel led to do so. But thank you for listening, and until next time, later. Blessings, guys. Have a beautiful, blessed Sunday.